What is it about a simple frozen block of sugar water on a stick that can instantly take you back to your best summer memories? Think about it for a second. What's your flavor? Cherry? Orange? That weird mystery-flavored one? For over a century, this one treat has been a symbol of carefree childhood joy. A neon-colored beacon on a hot day. It's not just a snack, it's a time machine on a stick. But what if I told you that this iconic invention wasn't dreamed up in some fancy corporate lab, but was stumbled upon by accident by an 11-year-old boy on a freezing cold night? This is the story of how a happy accident became a timeless legend, and the powerful psychology behind why, more than 115 years later, we all still scream for popsicles. Our story begins not on a sweltering summer afternoon, but on a surprisingly cold night in Oakland, California, way back in 1905. An 11-year-old boy named Frank Epperson was doing what kids do best, making a mess. On his porch, he had a cup filled with water and a sweet soda powder mix, and he was stirring it with a small wooden stick. Then, as kids do, he got distracted by literally anything else and went inside, completely forgetting about his sugary concoction left out on the porch. Sound familiar? That night, the temperature in Oakland took a nosedive. When Frank woke up the next morning, he found his forgotten cup. The mixture had frozen solid, with the wooden stir stick standing straight up in the center. Now, what do you think he did? Using pure kid logic, he did the only thing that made sense. He pulled the frozen block out of the cup by its new handle and took a lick. It was delicious. Without even realizing it, 11-year-old Frank Epperson had just invented the world's first popsicle. Now, is this origin story, told for over a century, the 100% unvarnished truth? Maybe. It's the official story the company has stood by, a perfect beginning for a perfect treat. But corporate legends sometimes get a little shinier with every retelling. For years, it remained Frank's little secret. He would make what he called Epsicles for his friends, a neighborhood novelty. He hadn't yet realized he was sitting on a sugary gold mine. That would take almost 2 more decades and a little push to remind him. Fast forward 18 years to 1924. Frank Epperson is now a grown man working as a real estate agent of all things. He decides to whip up his old frozen treats for a local fireman's ball, and, you guessed it, they were a massive hit. As he watched the crowd's delighted reaction, a light bulb finally went off. That childhood accident could be something much bigger. He immediately applied for a patent for his creation, which he officially called the Epsicle, a mix of his last name Epperson and icicle. A little bit of an ego play, don't you think? He started selling his Epsicles at Neptune Beach, a popular amusement park in Alameda. For just 5 cents, beachgoers could get a refreshing treat, and they were a runaway success. But the name Epsicle just doesn't roll off the tongue, does it? Try saying it 3 times fast. Thankfully, his own kids had a better idea. They started calling their dad's treats Popsicles. It was catchy, personal, and playful. Frank knew a good idea when he heard one. He officially changed the name on the patent to Popsicle, and an icon was born. Despite the local success, expanding a frozen food business in the 1920s was incredibly hard and expensive. So, Frank had to make a tough choice. What would you do? In the late 1920s, he sold the rights to his creation to the Joe Low Company of New York. It was a move that would take the popsicle out of the Bay Area and into the hands of millions. The Low Company had the cash to make this a national phenomenon, but its biggest challenge and greatest triumph was just around the corner. As the Roaring Twenties came to a crashing halt, America plunged into the Great Depression. It was an era of unprecedented hardship, where every penny counted. A 5-cent treat was, for many, a luxury they couldn't justify. So, here's a question for you. How do you sell a novelty snack to people who can barely afford to eat? The solution was a stroke of marketing genius born from the struggles of the time. The 2-stick popsicle. The Joe Low Company introduced the twin popsicle, a larger treat with 2 sticks. The concept was revolutionary in its empathy. For the same price as a single, a kid could buy a twin pop and easily snap it in half to share with a sibling or a friend. This wasn't just a new product, it was a powerful new message. In a time of scarcity, the popsicle became a symbol of sharing and community. It turned a selfish indulgence into a shared experience. This one decision cemented the popsicle's place in American culture. It became the affordable luxury, a small, bright spot in a very dark time. And the idea of sharing was so powerful that sales didn't just recover, they soared. The double-stick popsicle became more than a snack. It became a tool for connection. It was a way for parents to give their kids a moment of joy. And as a heartwarming footnote, during the polio epidemics of the 40s and 50s, popsicles became a go-to for soothing sore throats and keeping sick kids hydrated. This simple invention wasn't just surviving hard times. It was helping people get through them. It's amazing how a simple business decision could create such a powerful symbol of sharing. We connect with these stories because most of us have a food that takes us back. So, before we get into the brain science of why we feel that way, if you're enjoying this story, do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you. So, that's the how. But to really understand the popsicle's staying power, we have to look at the why. Why does the taste of a cherry popsicle instantly make you feel like you're 10 years old again, with sticky fingers and zero worries? The answer is buried deep inside our brains in a phenomenon called food nostalgia. You see, our senses of smell and taste are special. They have a direct, high-speed connection to the brain's hippocampus, the memory hub, and the amygdala, the emotion processor. This creates an incredibly strong link between a flavor and a feeling. So when you taste a popsicle, you're not just tasting sugar, you're activating a full-blown memory. Your brain recalls the warmth of the sun, the ice cream truck jingle, and that feeling of summer freedom. It's why a single bite feels like actual time travel. Studies have shown that our most powerful food memories are often formed during childhood, a period called the reminiscence bump, where our brains are basically nostalgia-making machines. These foods become comfort foods not just because they taste good, but because they trigger feelings of safety and social connection from our past. What was your go-to comfort food as a kid? For generations, popsicles have been tied to positive things: rewards from parents, a treat after a game, or a break from playing outside. This isn't just a snack, it's a core memory on a stick. But let's be real, nostalgia alone can't keep a brand on top for over a century. How does a simple popsicle compete in a world filled with gourmet ice cream and desserts with 10 different components? It survives by doing what it has always done. It evolves. A huge part of its modern success is marketing. Brands cleverly target nostalgic adults. Yeah, you, who grew up loving popsicles and now buy them for their own families. When you grab a box of popsicles, you're not just buying a treat for your kids. You're buying back a little piece of your own childhood to share with them. It's brilliant. Beyond that, the popsicle has had a flavor glow-up. The classics like cherry, orange, and grape will always be there, but the very definition of a popsicle has exploded. The modern market is full of wild creativity, with artisanal makers crafting gourmet pops with sophisticated flavors. You can now find combinations like mango with chili, strawberry and basil, or creamy avocado and lime. Of course, there's an avocado one. This evolution has also tapped into wellness trends, with options made from 100% real fruit, all natural ingredients, and even alcohol-infused boozicles for adults. Because why should kids get all the fun? From an 11-year-old's happy accident on a cold night, to a symbol of sharing during the Great Depression, to a scientifically proven trigger for our most cherished memories, the popsicle's journey is pretty incredible, isn't it? It has survived for over a century not just by being a simple, refreshing treat, but by weaving itself into the fabric of our culture. It has lasted because it was never just about sugar and ice. It has always been about connection, kindness, and the timeless taste of childhood joy. So, what's your popsicle? That one food that instantly takes you back to a specific time and place. Let us know in the comments below. We genuinely love to read your stories. Every picture has a tale, and we're here to frame it. Subscribe to Backstory Frames for more hidden history. Thanks for watching.